office.
Okay.
And so he's currently in violation of the injunction against harassment. He lost the appeal. I had to spend thousands of dollars on an attorney to represent me. He has filed an appeal to the appellate court, which he'll probably lose again. And he has done things, for example, he in the past, in recent past, and this was all part of the evidence in court. I was represented by Chris Rapp, a very well-known, pretty well-known lawyer. And so the defamation, he accused me of anything from being a pedophile to being arrested to, the sky's the limit. But anyway, he filed a criminal complaint against the county attorney, Rachel Mitchell, and myself, a criminal complaint, which was immediately dismissed by Chris Mays' group.
Mm-hmm.
He's filed a complaint with, I think, the IG for the FBI because, he was served, I think initially with the FBI because there is a FBI investigation against him as well.
Okay.
Over this matter. And I'm still in contact. I've been submitting a minimum of 50 posts since the injunction was upheld, 50 harassing posts against myself or either Rachel Mitchell, but this case is really me, so I don't know if his filing has something to do with her or has something to do with me or both of us, but I will tell you that what you have before you is a joke. This man has done everything he can to alienate himself from the legal community. Even went to the FBI on me. Went to the DA, Albert Bragg in New York. Suggesting that I made terroristic threats. Where that went nowhere. He's a very, very unstable person, and at this point, I'm in contact with Phoenix PD as well because they're very well aware of the violation. So the man will stop at nothing, and gets nowhere usually with his phony, baseless complaints on people.
Okay. And so basically what I'm looking into are the allegations he made against the deputies that assisted in the service of that order against him, and the allegations he made about them, and there's illegitimate purpose, according to him, for being out there, and threats that he claims they made to him.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
the thing is that he was smart enough, or dumb enough, I should say, to videotape it and put it on X, and so the videotape that he put out there is zero threats, by the way. And in fact, the MCSO, they stood in the background while the FBI, Wyatt Storm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why he served, because I had a server who was ex-FBI, I believe.
Okay.
And the FBI decided that they wanted to serve the warrant.
Okay.
So the point being is that Mr. Gadget is foolish enough that he actually taped the entire incident, put it on Twitter for the whole world to see, and there was not one threat made whatsoever, and then wants to claim that, they came in and upset his family and all of this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What this case is about is his belief that he has the First Amendment, gives him the right to say whatever he wants, even if it violates the law, which is what he's done, has violated the law, and the court has upheld his foolishness and bull junk.
Mm-hmm.
And so what he's trying to do is attack the FBI, who's investigating. He wants to attack the fine work of the MCSO for merely doing their job, because keep in mind, this guy is not very stable, and you don't know what you're walking up to, as you may, you're very well aware in your profession.
Right.
So these men stood there, didn't say one word, never threatened anyone. And I saw the video. Rachel, the rest of the world saw the video, and guess what? He's just making up garbage to try to make SEO look bad, to make the FBI look bad, to make Rachel Mitchell look bad, her fiance. They're a group. Even the New Times has an article coming out to my understanding, either today or Thursday, that's going to, rip into Rachel and myself.
Okay.
Unfounded bull junk,
All right.
Stupid stuff like, is Paul Stout your fiance? Well, I was in court, and Stephen Lemons is the main person that, Vladimir Gatchik is using, and he's using a convicted felon, Christopher Ruff, who's on the run with 2 warrants right now. He's using him to do podcasts to come at me and Rachel.
Okay.
He's a bad actor.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I know we did after, obviously this complaint came in a little while ago, and in doing some research prior to them getting me the case, they did find the incident was documented by our deputies going out there to do the assist, and we do have their body cam as well for that. They all did have it on them, and it was turned on, so I'll review that, and then go from.
Let me just interject something.
Sure.
And he posted on X as well that, the MCSO did not have their body cameras on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he posted. So, see, this man thinks he has a license to break the law, to say anything he wants, because why? The First Amendment lets you, cry fire in a theater and nothing happens to you. That's how he thinks, and guess what? He was a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and you said he's no longer practicing?
He's a suspended lawyer, and we've submitted paperwork, or I should say, we've submitted a inquiry, if you will. I mean, when you call the bar, they know him like they do anyone else, but more so him. But we've already started on trying to get him debarred. So he's suspended right now. He did not come back after the year of suspension and try to get his license back. And so now I have filed, and Rachel Mitchell would file to have them do an investigation on him to get this man disbarred so that he never ever practices law in this state again.
Okay. And then as far as my investigation goes, you yourself saw the video on X as well, correct?
I sure did.
Okay. And is there anything else that you know of that you can think of that would assist me in this investigation against our deputies?
No, it's a nothing burger.
Okay.
And I mean that. Rachel looked at it. We were both laughing at how much of a joke this yes, they send, people send stuff to the bar. They send stuff to you for investigation. It's part of the job. I get it. But, the resource, we know, how the resources are, the things that really need to be investigated. And this is a nothing burger.
Okay.
A nothing burger. And this guy is such he's bigger than a thorn. He'll do anything he can and say anything he can to make law enforcement and those who support our fine men and women out there make everyone look like they're corrupt. They didn't have their cameras on. Mm-hmm. It's all bull junk. What you got in your possession right there is a joke. And he will stop at nothing, regardless of what a court order says, regardless of what is imposed on him. He sets the rules and he decides what he's going to do at all times.
Okay.
So there's nothing else that I can give you to let you know about anything other than the fact that if you have the cameras and so forth, you'll see if anybody was abusive. It was him, yelling back at the FBI. He was all mad because the FBI agent served him, and he was wondering. The following day, he saw a police helicopter. He posted that and said, "The FBI is after me. They're flying over my house." Then the next day, he was in a car driving, and he had his camera on in the car, and some car was behind him. He goes, "Oh, the FBI is following me. I'm on a back road from my house. I took another detour, and they're after me now," which was all bull junk.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then on the video that you saw, one of the allegations he made is that our deputies had their hands on their guns the entire time in order to intimidate him. Do you recall if you saw any of that?
No, they have their, like either you're going to have your hands straight down or you're going to have them on a hip or something like that. They're not stupid enough that, they have their hand on the gun. They were standing about, 25 feet away from the front door.
Okay.
Okay, like Wyatt went up to the front door And he came back, and if he was so scared, when Wyatt was walking back to his vehicle, guess what he was saying? Sir, I need your badge number. Your badge number. Storm, I need your badge number. Is it true that Mitchell's fiance is Paul Stout? Does that sound like a scared guy?
Okay, right. Oh, I see what you're saying.
And the deputies, the deputies were standing there. They didn't have their hands on their guns like they were going to pull out and draw. And like there was no threat there at the time. They weren't going to pull a gun out on anybody. Okay. And as I say, if I was scared, I would have stayed in my house.
Right. Okay.
He walked right out there. I feel so bad for you to have to get this letter because you know what? He's such a joke. This guy. He's what makes it tough on people in law enforcement to deal with people who make false allegations. And he's gonna get. I'm not done with this. I'm not done with this guy. Trust me.
Okay. And then, so how did you become aware that I have the case or that this case was filed? Is it because he said something on social media about it?
Yeah, because he posts your letter.
Oh, okay. Oh.
This man will post his underwear size if he has to on Twitter. There's nothing that this guy won't do. Yeah, your letter's on there, and he's got your number and your name.
Okay.
And guess what? If you don't do anything, guess what? He'll come after you too.
Right. Awesome. Okay. Well, let me get your number real quick in case I do have any further questions once we get in this. I can reach out to you. What is that?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
And like I said, I'm the fiance of Rachel Mitchell, and initially we filed the injunction together, but because we're being a public official, it's just tougher.
Right.
She takes a lot of abuse, as you probably are aware.
Right.
And so I filed this case individually, and he had his opportunity in court, and guess what? He proved his inability to prove his case. So he's just wasting your time. He did the same thing with other agencies. Now he sent something to the FBI again. He went to their inspector general. He filed a complaint there. So this is a nothing burger, I'm going to tell you.
Okay. Well, I do appreciate you calling and giving me that information. Like I said, at this point, it really is going to be mostly a matter of reviewing the body cam. And then I do also have to offer, because we are under the court order, I do have to offer him an in-person interview to see if there's anything he would like to say or add to his complaint. So I may or may not be meeting with him at any time soon. And then once that's completed, obviously, because he made the allegations, I also do have to talk to our deputies and bring them in for an interview. And then once I've got all that done, then I will be able to go ahead and close it based on the information that I'm able to find.
He'll come at you.
Yes. Well, I do appreciate you letting me know what you have, and also I'll look into it as well and see what I can find on this side of it.
Hey, do you need that injunction too?
If you have a copy, that would be great. The one that was served, I believe it was in September.
I think it was I'm just trying to remember the date because there's so much. Yeah, I have the final the notice that shows it was upheld by Commissioner Albrecht.
Okay, if you could email that to me, that would be great.
Shoot me an email and I'll respond to it because this is kind of a sensitive doc.
Okay.
And so let me give you my email here. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
It's
okay.
And just one last thing. Like I think I said earlier, I've already submitted 50 screenshots since that injunction was upheld. 50 screenshots. Wow. That's not to count the other 50 or 100 that he said about Rachel. So,
and you're working with Phoenix PD on those ones?
Oh, big time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working at Phoenix PD. He's also putting a fake document out that's not even the police department's document saying I was arrested. It's either a fake or a forgery document, which you may know is a class 4 felony. And so right now, this is this is how much commotion he has stirred up on the federal level.
Wow.
He's being severely investigated with at the FBI. I've already met with the state attorney. I'm sorry, the help me out. The FBI's attorney.
Okay.
Prosecutor. I've already met in person with them on him, so at very minimum, he's got cyber stalking as a felony, which isn't everything, but at this point, at minimum, that's what he's been doing to me, is stalking me.
Okay. And then,
daily.
do you know offhand what his profile name is on Twitter or X?
I do.
Okay. What is that?
Let me get it for you. Hang on.
There's several.
Well, he's got, let me see. Let me give you the one that is most important.
Okay.
So if you go to, the @ sign.
Yeah.
Go to T as in Tom, OXIK, V as in Victor, LAD as in David. So it's like toxic, TOXIK, VLAD, toxic Vlad.
Okay.
And if you go in there, he in his profile he says Rachel Mitchell equals Antichrist.
Okay.
So and then you scroll down a little ways.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? You're like the third or fourth down on October 22nd. You get to see your letter.
Oh yeah, there it is. Perfect. Okay. Well, I appreciate all of this again, and then I will email you so that you can send me a copy of that. And then if you think of anything else that you think might be relevant to this, feel free to give me a call. Otherwise, if I think of anything, I will definitely reach out to you as well.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing that. And I'll send that over to you as soon as I get your email.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a great day now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, today is Wednesday, October 23rd. It is now 10:42. That was a mostly recorded conversation from Paul Staub. He is a subject who had an injunction against harassment served upon one of my complainants, and that would be Vladimir Gagic. And that is reference IA 2024-0470. I was not expecting that call, so I did not have my recorder ready at the time that he called, but we only missed about a minute of that. This will be uploaded into IA Pro. And the conversation was concluded at 10:42.